It's not an agitation. There is crime everywhere. There is no amnesty program in Lagos here. But there was kidnap of even sitting members of House of Assembly in Lagos here. Who kidnapped them? Were they not kidnapped by people who committed crime in Lagos? There was kidnap in Osun. There has been kidnap all over this Lagos. At the time, it became very difficult to even go out around Ikoyi. So there was a target of wealthy people in Lagos, political elements, politically exposed people in Lagos. So don't associate a particular region to a particular crime or a particular program to a particular crime. Bad people are bound to be in society. But for the Niger Delta, let me point you to a particular cause. If the federal government, as a pilot program, has been able to deal with 30,000 youths, now there was no peace. Peace has returned to the creeks. Production has risen. At the time that there was no peace, the states were getting very low and abysmally very low allocation monthly. So now some states are getting 25 billion in a month, 21 billion in a month, 17 billion, 6 billion, 8 billion in a month now. The question is, if federal government takes care of 30,000 youths, and they are in various schools, various vocational institutions in and outside this country, the other youths are bound to also think that if they are not taken care of, it simply now translates to them, and it makes some little sense, that only violence will pay. So government at the level of the Niger Delta states and local governments now owe their people a responsibility to clean up youths and create youth and women empowerment programs in the various states of the Niger Delta to complement the effort of the federal government that has directly dealt with a specific program. Until that is done by the state governments, instead of the politicking most of them are doing, abandoning their statutory responsibility of creating jobs in their various states, empowering the youth, empowering women in the various states, amnesty and the beneficiaries is just a tip. It's not the bulk of the Niger Delta. This is not to mean that some Niger Delta states are not doing well. For instance, if you go to Akwa Ibom, you can't beat it. The Akwa Ibom state governor and the state, he has created change in his state.
Okay.
Those are real transformational changes and not just the change people scream all over.
So, Mr. Kuku, what makes a militant? Who is a militant?
Well, I want to say that as one who participated at the intellectual level of the Niger Delta struggle, from 1998 till 2009, the amnesty was proclaimed. From 98 to 2001, we never really had people termed militant. But the Niger Delta youths, as we were, I am a signatory to the Kayama Declaration. We came out, protested environmental degradation, protested deprivation, and protested the fact that we lacked appropriate political space. What the Nigerian military at that time, under General Abdul Salami, visited on our peaceful protests were the use of guns and hammer. It now came to a point that a few youths decided that even when you peacefully protest, the answer is the barrel of the gun and the hammer. They decided on their own to also protect themselves, not the lazy job we did in their own view. We were talking, we were educated, we were saying, look, this is not right. The likes of Barrister Ronto Douglas, T.K. Ogoriba, Felix Tuodolo, a few of us came together in Kayama and we articulated the demand of the Niger Delta people without guns, without cutlass, without anything. And we formed a document called the Kayama Declaration. We took it to the United Nations, to the Commonwealth. We agitated intellectually. We didn't forget, Ken Saro-Wiwa peacefully protested and he was openly murdered. We also didn't forget that Isaac Boro, our icon, was murdered in mysterious circumstances. So a few people, based on these past experiences, had decided that they were not going to die the way we were putting ourselves to die. So people took up arms. And that was the beginning of militancy in the Niger Delta. Okay. For us in the Niger Delta today, it is now a story of the past. It's a story of the past. The communities are peaceful. I always tell a particular story, Auntie, and when you listen to this, you will know the peak of it, why the Niger Delta people came together, the leaders, Why the former Vice President, now President, Alabo Graham Douglas, Chief Dr. Edwin Clark, Chief Tony Anini, everybody came together to say it was time to stop the crisis in the Niger Delta. A particular so-called Niger Delta ex-agitator called John Togo, now late, was perpetrating so much of robbery in parts of Ondo, the larger area, the Ijo area of Ondo, or at Ore. At a point, if you remember, there was incessant robbery cases at Ore. He was doing that. One day he was returning, maybe after an unfulfilled robbery incident, and saw a poor Ijo woman, a woman he claims to be fighting for, with a 8-month-old baby. He stopped and demanded money from this woman. She started crying, seeing 6 flying boats, well-armed youths, running piracy business. She said, I don't have money. I'm just coming from the fishing port. Fish I didn't even get. I'm just struggling with my little baby, 8-month-old. I just gave birth. They said, if you don't give us anything on you, we're going to throw this 8-month-old baby into the river. The woman could not stand it. She started crying. They took this baby, the 8-month-old baby, and threw this baby into Bini River. The woman cried. They threatened to shoot at her and forced her to smile and laugh. When we heard that story, we knew that we were up for something negative in our communities and our environment. And that's exactly what Boko Haram is doing in the north. So we decided at that point that no, Tompolo, as a freedom fighter, as a leader of a struggle, you have made your position clear. This is not part of what you have told our people. So if this is not part of your struggle, you have to cleanse these elements in your so-called freedom struggle. And Tompolo provided the leadership. It wasn't the military that went after John Togo. Tompolo went after him. And that's the essence of genuine struggles. When people want to dent the image of your struggle, you cleanse it up. And Tompolo provided the needed leadership and cleansed it up. They went after those elements, and the struggle became very sane until the time everybody accepted amnesty.
Okay.
Even now, not every youth has accepted the offer for peace. But now, majority of them have, and the military will be there to get the cooperation of the community, and leaders of the Niger Delta are providing the needed intelligence support and cooperation with the military. And that is why law and order maintenance is very simple and easy today in the Niger Delta. I keep referring to this as something that can be done in the case of Boko Haram in northern Nigeria.
Okay. Now let's talk some politics.
Okay.
2015. Elections are around the corner. They should have been today, but they've been postponed by a few weeks.
I'm so pained.
And you are?
I'm pained. I wanted the election today.
Okay. All right. you are.
Because my birthday. It was going to be a birthday gift to Mr. President. So I really wanted it today.
Oh, dear. Now, there's some trouble in a few Niger Delta states, Rivers, Bayelsa. What is your take on politics in those areas in the Niger Delta?
Well, one thing you must know is that normally, the Niger Delta is a place where people take very seriously representation. So what you see happening in Rivers State is simply politics. Rivers State is a PDP state. It is a PDP state. Forget the fact that my brother Rotimi Amechi, His Excellency, has now moved into the APC. When did he move into the APC? He's been speaker for 8 years under PDP. He's been an aide to former Governor Odili under PDP, or maybe growing from UNCP. And he's been PDP governor himself until sometime last year. So whatever he is today, whatever he has done in Rivers, whatever structures politically there are in Rivers are PDP structures. Forget the media noise, forget the gra-gra you see. The fact is that Rivers is a PDP state. There won't be any crisis. The elections in Rivers will be so peaceful, and the PDP will sweep it. The APC cannot even see the 25% they are looking for in Rivers. They can't even get it. Don't allow people to deceive you. Get me back here after the elections. I bet you, Nyesom Wike will win the governorship of Rivers. outstandingly. And President Goodluck Jonathan will win Rivers State